So hi everyone, my name is Eder and welcome to another Project Wesker video. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the new Welcome to Raccoon City Easter egg trailer. Now I'm actually calling it an Easter egg trailer, but in reality I don't know what the official name of it is. And I actually didn't watch this trailer on the main Sony's YouTube channel. So if you guys want me to leave a link down in the description so that you guys can watch the full trailer, let me know down in the comments. Right before we get started, I just wanted to mention that to avoid being repetitive, every time I see a scene that I've already reacted to in a previous video, I'll just state that and skip, unless that scene offers anything new to add. And I'll also leave a tag on the top right of the video so you guys can see my previous trailer breakdown of Welcome to Raccoon City. And if this is your first time here, consider subscribing because I post about everything that has to do about Resident Evil every single week. Also, if there's any new information that releases, and that can be in the form of a new trailer or an interview, I'll actually leave a link to that updated video down in the description and in the comments so that you guys can always come back to this video and check for updates. But in any case, let's get started with the breakdown. So the first screenshot we start off with in this trailer is a really good picture of RPD. We've already seen that. Another angle of Raccoon City Orphanage. Another shot of the stars entering the mansion. So we already reacted to this, so I'm just going to skip. Now the next screenshot, we actually see Leon, and this looks to be the doors to enter the RPD building. He's probably looking out into the gate, and so that's what I'm assuming is happening here. Next shot, we actually do see the gates, and we see one zombie. We've already seen this, so let's skip. Next shot, we see Kaya Scodelario talking about Welcome to Raccoon City and the details that are in the movie. Next, we actually see Raccoon Times newspaper, and if we look closely, we actually see that the date is Sunday, November 20th, 1998. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I do remember that the movie was actually supposed to be in the I think one of the first trailers, it did say September 20th, 1998. So I am a little curious to see why the time has changed. I don't know if they changed it so that, I mean, the movie was set to release on September, I don't remember the exact date, but I think it was supposed to be September 3rd, the official release date, but then obviously it got changed to November 24th. And so I'm curious to see if the reason why this newspaper says Sunday, November 20th is because the movie's coming out officially on the November 24th, but I guess just to be closer to that. Now, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. We do see on the right here, it does say Hero Cop Rescues Missing Child. I can tell right away that that's obviously talking about Chris Redfield. Since we did hear about this in the Chris Vignette trailer, we did hear Robbie Amell, which is the actor that's portraying Chris, as well as Johannes Roberts, the director, mentioning that Chris in this movie is a small town hero. On the right, we actually see missing children, and so that I'm assuming correlates with either the disappearances that we know from the games, or it also could be the missing children that are being taken from the orphanage and being used in experimentation, since this movie and the previous trailers did suggest that. And also, if we do read the article, it is just, you know, kind of gibberish. I'm pretty sure this isn't Latin or anything. This is just a standard text that's just written out, you know, so that they don't actually have to write a full article in the newspaper. I guess just as a movie prop, if I'm not mistaken. Next shot, we actually see Claire and Leon in the locker room. We've already seen this scene. Everything's a lot more detailed though, and I like that. You know, the closer we get to the release date of Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, the more we actually see the same scenes that we've seen in the previous trailers, but just a lot more clear. Next shot, we actually see that scene of, I'm assuming this is Chris's house, right outside his house, I guess near the garage, where we did see in the previous trailer Chris practicing his boulder punches. Or we didn't see Chris per se, but we did see evidence of Chris punching that boxing bag. And here we see some more boxing gear. So this screenshot actually does answer a couple of questions that I did have from the previous breakdowns that I did, talking about the scene where we did see Claire hitchhiking to Raccoon City with the truck driver, and then obviously she does arrive at Chris's house, and then we do see the motorbike, because we have seen from the first original trailer, we did see Claire riding around Raccoon in that motorbike. And so I wasn't sure if that motorcycle was Chris's or if it was Claire's, or maybe she just left it at Chris's house, right? Maybe this is her motorbike. But anyways, those are just minute details. Let's move on. Next shot, we do see that scene of the zombies entering RPD. We've already seen this shot so many times in the trailers before. It is a good shot, but yeah, nothing to say here. All right, the next scene, we actually have seen this shot of Claire and Leon in what looks to be and it does look like they're preparing for the zombies that just recently broke through the gates, because this is the front area of RPD. Next shot, yeah, we do see, I want the fans to just look at these locations. That's the director speaking. Those are what the subtitles are. And in the background, yeah, we've already seen the Welcome to Raccoon City sign. Yeah, we see Emmy's Diner, which we already broke down in the previous trailers. And then here's a different shot. So we do see in the background now, of course, the subtitles are blocking a bit of that sign, but it does say Raccoon City pharmaceuticals. It's hard to tell, but it's cool to see that. Cool to see advertisements for Umbrella in Raccoon City. And then the next shot, we do see Johannes Robert mentioning that he does want people to feel that they're in the game when they're watching Welcome to Raccoon City. And, you know, there's a lot of details, and this is what this whole trailer is about. It is just mentioning a lot of the Easter eggs and a lot of the time that they put into all of the small details for the fans. Next shot, we do see that same scene of the stars entering the mansion right at the front, and we did see this scene before, but now this is a different angle, if I'm not mistaken, because we never saw the second floor. So I like that we're seeing different angles of similar scenes, and that's just because, you know, we're nearing the release date. And the following shot is just, again, the camera's descending so that we can see all of the main area, or the first area of the mansion. And the following shot is them just entering. We've already seen that angle. The next screenshot, we actually see Johannes Roberts mentioning how Capcom gave them blueprints to the Spencer Mansion and as well as Raccoon City Police Department and other areas of the games. Now, I'm not sure, right? That's just me assuming that they've given them, you know, floor plans of every area in the game. And I didn't know the extent of this, but this is actually pretty cool that we're actually seeing, you know, everything here. Capcom really did cooperate, and we did know this. This isn't news. This isn't breaking news. Now, we did know this months in advance from the interviews that Johannes Roberts did with IGN. But yeah, I think it's very cool that here we're just seeing all of the floor plans and just seeing the attention to detail and how Capcom really helped with this movie and how they're excited about it. Next shot, we do see the stars, or Chris and Richard, going up the second floor. Now, we've already seen this angle, and to be honest, we actually saw this angle a little bit to the right in the previous trailers, but we do see just more, right? It is more clear. Next shot, yeah, we see the map or the floor plans of RPD in Resident Evil 2, the police station specifically, and just Johannes Roberts just talking about, you know, the attention to detail, how they try to mimic the same thing. And I'm really curious to see the extent of that. Is it going to be exactly one-to-one? Is it going to be the same? Because we have seen the main hall, but it'll be interesting if all of the RPD was constructed exactly to how the game was. That would be amazing if that's the case. Now, of course, that might not be the case. It might just be main areas like the main hall or like the West office, big areas, and maybe like small areas we're not going to be able to see. I mean, this is a movie after all, but I don't know. That's what I'm really looking forward when I watch this movie when it comes out, is to see, the level of detail. Next shot, we see an even better shot of that main hall area in RPD, and we do hear Johannes Roberts in this section just comparing a lot of the shots from the games and from the movies. So here, this is the West office where Welcome Leon sign is there, and then we do see the same thing, right? This is behind the scenes. We see a lot of the production team probably setting up for a scene, and we do see a guy wearing a Toronto Maple Leafs hat because, like I did mention in the previous breakdown, they did shoot a lot of the scenes in Welcome to Raccoon City in the greater Sudbury area in Ontario, Canada. So that's cool to see. Yeah, there's a lot of Canadians that got the chance to work in this movie, right? It makes sense, but also cool because, as a fellow Canadian, I like to see that. Next shot, we see the Itchy Tasty scene. We've already seen that. We see that same zombie breaking in the house. Just a lot more clearer shots. Now the next shot, we actually see Claire and Leon in what looks to be outside. Now this is what I'm assuming, and let me know what you guys think down in the comments, but what I think is happening here is probably Claire and Leon are on their way to the Raccoon City orphanage. So this is probably that path in the Resident Evil 2 remake game where Claire makes her way from RPD all the way to Raccoon City orphanage, and that's where there's a bunch of dogs that attack her. And so that is my guess as to what's happening here, because the following shot, we do see Raccoon City orphanage, and we do see some brick walls in the background. There is a lot of brick walls, and this does look like it's outside. We do see a tree right on the left. So yeah, it would make sense that this is the same scenes. The color palette is the same, so that just again confirms that this is all the same scene. This is probably Claire and Leon entering the front of Raccoon City orphanage. Yeah, the next shot, we see Claire looking at, and she is looking up, almost reading Raccoon City orphanage. So I guess that does confirm. And the following shot, we do see the comparison of the Raccoon City orphanage with the Resident Evil 2 remake doors. The next shot, we actually see Resident Evil 2 remake, and we look at the typewriter at the front desk in the main hall of RPD, and the director just talking about how they added that typewriter. So it's a small detail, but they paid a lot of attention to a lot of these details, which is just amazing. It really really just, you know, the fact that they're putting that extra effort really does, you know, excite me. I'm really excited to watch, and I'm quite hyped to watch this movie. It is starting to look better and better the more and more I watch these new trailers. Next shot, we actually hear the director talking about herbs and how, and this shot's a little weird because this is a yellow herb, and this whole thing is actually taken from Resident Evil 4, and obviously this movie has nothing to do with Resident Evil 4, but I guess whoever did the trailer, they were just trying to get footage for a green herb. And we do see in the next shot, and this is the shot that we saw in the previous trailer breakdown of that room with the deer, and we do see a green herb right there in the background. Next, we do see the director talking about how they even kept the same keys for the doors in RPD. And so here we do see the clover key, and then on this shot we actually see a bunch of keys, right? We see all three keys. So we see the clover key, the heart key, and the spades key. And so we see all of these keys being used. Now, of course, we do know for sure that from this scene, this is actually happening in Raccoon City Orphanage. So unfortunately, you know, we're not going to be able to use all of these keys in just RPD. I guess that's just for the sake of the movie and for the plot to advance. You know, these keys are also going to be used in different areas, not just solely for RPD like it was in the games. Next shot, yeah, we've seen this shot of both Claire and Leon and Lisa Trevor, and this is the same shot of her opening the door with the key. We already reacted to that. Let's move on. Yeah, we see another shot of Brad getting eaten, and there was a shot in the previous trailer breakdown video that I did where we did see a shot of the window, and a lot of my viewers did mention that, hey Eder, you know, this does look like it's the cockpit of the helicopter. And for me, it was kind of weird to tell. It was hard to tell because this is I've never been in a cockpit in a helicopter, but it does look like there's a lot of room here. But that window here, since we're seeing a lot of these shots a lot clearer, it does look like that shot that we saw with the bloodied hand in the previous trailer touching the glass. I thought maybe it was the train, but no, this does confirm to me that this was the cockpit of Brad's helicopter. Yeah, the next shot we see that initial zombie getting run over by the truck driver, so we don't need to react to that. And then the next shot we already reacted to before. This is probably and most likely Brad just crashing into that piano room in the mansion, the Spencer mansion. And then in this final shot, we do see William Birkin, and this is a way better shot than what we got in the previous trailer. Now, I did have a lot of my viewers say, you know, Eder, I do think that is William Birkin, and a lot of my viewers did catch that he was wearing the same white shirt that he did have when he injected himself with the G virus. That's something I completely missed in the previous trailer. But yeah, after talking with my viewers, for sure, yeah, this is definitely a confirmation of that previous trailer scene where we do see William Birkin fighting Chris. It is in fact William Birkin, and we do see him here ripping what looks to be like a ventilation cover. Well, in any case, that is the end of the Easter egg trailer. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Are you guys excited about this movie? And like always, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to knife that like button, and if this is your first time here, consider shooting that subscribe button in the face, and also remember to punch that notification bell like Chris punches that boulder in RE5. Well, thank you so much everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
The right to be a god. That right is now mine.